Hello everybody, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor and we are back here with another Daily Leeds episode. Yep, we're back. Hope you're all doing well. As I've said, Leeds playing Tottenham at the weekend. We'll get into that in just a little bit. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, everyone, that would be massively appreciated. Your continued support is really, it's just great. It's great to see the subscribers going up every single day. It's great to see, the interaction going up as well, even with the horrendous position Leeds United are in at this minute, but I'm trying to provide therapy, a cathartic look at things. So we'll get into it just after reading a couple of your comments. Of course, there's 200 of you in the building, an impromptu live stream. Thank you so much once again for your support. Morning, Connor says, blinky fists. Morning, Nige. Morning, Billy. Hope you're all right. I'll play Football Manager when Connor talks. Don't really know what that says, to be honest. Morning, Connor. The final countdown is indeed Sujal. Bournemouth will lie down at Goodison. The season is done. Morning, Connor. Says Nurak Savings. I just want to see some fight in the last game. At least go out with a bang. Morning, Dr. Thorp. Connor. Therapy needed. Yeah, mate. Okay. Let's get into some let's get into some news in general. And there's been a lot of chat about QSI. There's been a lot of chat about Radrizzani, what he's doing at the minute. It seems pretty locked in with him and Sampdoria, and it seems to be edging closer. He seems to, I reckon how it's going to go with Sampdoria is we're going to hear like an announcement as soon as, in my opinion, Leeds United relegate from the Premier League. Apparently, May's locked in the talks with the purchase of Sampdoria alongside PSG owners QSI following their relegation to Serie B. Many reports have claimed that negotiations are reaching the crucial hours to finalise the deal. The crucial hours, obviously with QSI and Radrizzani, is almost a partnership, are probably going to be the crucial hours being when, as I've just mentioned, Leeds get relegated. So I think the issue with Rads at the minute is he knows that when Leeds go down, he's going to lose out on 150 to 200 million quid, or even more. Leeds are going to go from a club that is going to be worth 400 to 450 million and growing in the Premier League to 150 million, which is more than he first bought Leeds for, a lot more than he first bought Leeds for, and he'll be making a significant profit, but he could have almost made 10 times the money that he bought Leeds for. So, yeah, he's going to be burnt with that. Of course he is. Now, there's a lot of talk at this moment in time, as you guys probably have read, that there is a strategic partnership that is going to potentially be going on between Leeds and Sampdoria. Now, the partnership with an English side and an Italian side that you guys all might recognise was Watford and Udinese. Many players went from Watford to Udinese. Probably the standout was Forestieri, I believe. But that was a partnership which essentially saw Udinese feed Watford a lot of players. Obviously, the difference with Udinese at the time was Udinese was Serie A. The problem is with Sampdoria is they've been relegated to Serie B. So we're talking about this on the debrief. Like, what caliber of player would be linked to Leeds if there is a strategic partnership between Sampdoria and Leeds United? I mean, what caliber of player? I mean, the Championship is much better than Serie B. So how do Leeds benefit from that? I'm more than happy to see the back of Andrea Radrizzani, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. But it remains very unclear of how his involvement would remain with Sampdoria on the side as well. If you do look at Watford when they're with Udinese, the partnership, I still believe they're with them, with the Pozzo family in charge. It was actually really good for them. Really, really good from the difference is Udinese were a sort of like top 12 Serie A side and able to produce proper quality that Watford were able to benefit from when they were in the Championship to get them to the upper echelon of the Championship and then consequently into the Premier League. So it's not the same at all with Leeds and Sampdoria. That's interesting to hear. I'm fascinated to hear what you guys are saying. Paul's in the building. Hi, Paul. Phil says the Three Musketeers, Rads, the 49ers and QSI. QSI not for Leeds, it's Sampdoria. Yep, Sampdoria and Radrizzani. Sampdoria and Radrizzani. QSI and Radrizzani, that's what we just said earlier, going in. Joe Shaw says Allardyce Bookie's favourite for the job. Yeah, that would not be good. Martin says, Connor gets angry the longer his streams go on. Starts out positive, but 10 minutes describing the reality breaks him. I don't think I get angry, mate. I just, it's therapy for me as well, trust me. Don't we all just want a mad billionaire from Leeds through and through? Jack, that's what every football owner wants, mate, and that's why Tony Bloom at Brighton, Brighton billionaire who is who loves the club and looks like he's just going to be building and building and building. So that's the dream. That's the dream for every club as well. Believe it or not, Brighton will be the envy of clubs like Man United. So they'll be envious. Man United and Liverpool will be envious because having an owner of a football club who loves the club is amazing. Some positive news anyway. Leeds United midfielder Darko JB scored the winner for England's under-20 side on Thursday as Ian Foster's men beat Uruguay 3-2 in their second group game, which is, it was a really good finish as well. There's been a lot of talk about Darko JB, a hell of a lot of talk. Now, should he have got more minutes is a question, and the answer for me is yes. I think throwing him in a scenario like we've seen this season, which has been extremely difficult for the Whites, is definitely a question. But I think when you look at like Lavia at Southampton, who's just been unbelievable, you do start to question and wonder whether or not that that could have surfaced really for Darko JB. Sorry everyone, bit of hay fever there for Darko JB. But hopefully in the Championship, if he's still there with us, he'll get a few more minutes and he'll be able to, get a little bit better and see more Championship minutes. Heading to Yorkshire Leeds this weekend, we'll be wearing my Leeds shirt with pride, which is more than I can say for many of our squad. Says Sujal. Yeah, Sujal, we're going to be getting on to that at the end, mate. Just a little bit of a Tottenham preview. And hopefully it's not going to be a dark day, but yeah. Shout out to Darko JB. Great finish, great goal. And, as TC says here, I keep forgetting to take my hay fever tablets. It's a nightmare, mate. Okay. So apparently Sam Allardyce has ditched Thorp Arch, as you can probably tell by the title of the video. Leeds United manager Sam Allardyce has decided to undertake training at Ellen Road in preparation for Leeds' crucial match with Spurs at the weekend, which is interesting, isn't it? Obviously, the dimensions of the pitch. Playing in the stadium, getting them used to it. Leeds obviously aren't in control of their own fate this weekend. If Everton get, a win, it doesn't matter what Leeds do. Leeds will be relegated from the Premier League. So, you're hoping for something from Bournemouth. Obviously, you're hoping for something for West Ham as well. Leicester play West Ham. But it's interesting. Big Sam's ditched Thorpe Arch and brought them to Ellen Road. What do you guys think about that? I think it's quite a good technique, to be honest with you. I understand why he's done it. Real Madrid were doing it at Man City. Ancelotti had the option of doing it at one of City's many training facilities, and he said no, he wants to go to the Etihad and get the feel of the pitch. That didn't quite work out for them. But you do sort of understand why managers do that. To be honest, it's getting you used to the squad, etc., etc. Squad, on the pitch and stuff like that, getting used to other bits. Quality goal from JB is one hell of a talent. Nearer to Big Sam's house, says Andrew. It's the mentality thing on match days. Yeah, it is, Jason, and I think that's a really good point. I think it's the mentality on match days. The crowd do make a huge difference at Ellen Road, positively or negatively, in your opinion. Surely you're used to it by now, says Ollie. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's probably just he's making it into a big thing. It's like, you're going to be here, you're going to play here. This is the moment that you have to create history and keep Leeds United in the Premier League. This, that, and the other. Paul says, I fear for Sunday. If we get pumped, it's going to be toxic. We stood there against Palace and that was bad. We did, mate. I was with Paul for that game. It was awful. Surprised Big Sam doesn't fancy JB as his type of player. Let's get on to a few more bits. Obviously, we've been speaking about the game. We're going to get on to Tottenham in just a second. But Shea Adams could replace Patrick Bamford. I was speaking about the striker. Targets in the summer. Obviously, Leeds don't have a sporting director. Are we even going to be getting a sporting director? Is Rads the one who fancies Shea Adams? According to reports, he did like Shea Adams. If he does stay in charge, is that going to be something Leeds go with? Obviously, Southampton are going to be going down, but it looks like if they're going to be playing one up front, Alvarez is going to be the man they're going with. Obviously, the South American looks like he's going to be a decent acquisition in the Championship for Southampton. Then could that pave the way for at last a Shea Adams move? I don't mind Shea Adams, but it's the Ryan Kents, it's the Shea Adams, it's the Noah Langs. Obviously, it's not going to be Noah Lang with how good he is, but yeah, it's the same ones linked all the time, isn't it? But there's a few paper publication saying that apparently Leeds have a long-term interest, and it wasn't just Victor Orta and Shea Adams. And yeah, there's potential for Leeds to go in there and make that move. But I'm not 100% sure that's viable now. I think that ship sailed. I think the Ryan Kent ship sailed. I think you move on and you go down to the Championship and you buy the best striker in the league. I keep saying this, your Perot, your Kores, if he decides to stick around at Coventry, at least can go in and bully him, get the deal done early. Bully Coventry, that is, if they stay down. Yeah, I think that's massive, going down and buying the best striker in the division. So yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't be looking at Shea Adams, to be honest with you. Tashin says Shea ripped up the Championship when he was at Birmingham. We need someone to feed him. Yeah, Adam Brogan says match on together from San Francisco. Hiya, mate. Shea Adams too late. Yeah, Andrew, I agree. The reality has not hit me. We got into this position, like I had extremely high hopes that we would be fighting in the top 6 by the 3rd season. Yeah, maybe that'd have been a tough ask, I think, TC. I think that'd have been a tough ask. I know we're Leeds and all this sort of stuff, but fighting the top 6 is, it's a long process. It's a hell of a long process. Brighton's taken years to be where they're at. They've built and invested hundreds of millions, hundreds of millions behind the scenes. Tony Bloom was saying that on Sky Sports. They're trying to get top class facilities. They've got a top class recruitment program, manager, player. They've had to invest a lot of money behind the scenes, Brighton. They're not just getting recruitment right all the time. It's everything that you don't see. Brentford, the exact same, and I know that for a fact. Everything behind the scenes at Brentford, they're investing a lot of money into production, into improving everything behind the scenes. Leeds haven't done that, and we've not evolved since we've been in the Premier League. We've been hanging on by a thread after the 9th season and relying on one man. So the structure of the entire football club is one man. How do you expect to develop? And they've not developed behind the scenes or evolved behind the scenes whatsoever. So yeah, there's no way we're going to be anywhere near the top 6, even if we would stay in the Premier League, because you have to have an elite setting in the background and a happy setting in the background. And Leeds are nowhere near that, even if we stay in the Premier League for the next couple of seasons. These sorts of things, these blueprints that you take from a Brighton, that you take from a Brentford, that you take from a Fulham even, take a long time, and Leeds haven't instilled that at all. You still see the stadium like it is. You still see the Thorp Arch. I was at Thorp Arch not long ago for something, and it's the exact same as it was when I was having trials down there when I was about 10, 11 years old. The backroom staff, as we all know, are the exact same, and they have been for 5, 6 years. Nothing changes at Ellen Road. It is what it is. So it's all about, the manager, and the manager was Marcelo Bielsa for so long, of course. So yeah, Tottenham, everyone. Tottenham to play next. Massive game, biggest game in Leeds' recent history. Do I think we can get a win? I think we could get something. I think we can get a draw. I think it will be a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. Like Kane will probably score early, and then we'll respond with a little bit of, a galvanised roar from the crowd. And I think we'll get a draw, and it won't be enough. So, yeah, that's how I see it going, to be honest with you. And that is quite positive because, whatever the weather, rain or shine, Tottenham Hotspur haven't won in 9 away Premier League games. But Leeds booked the trend for all these things. I called us last season the trend bookers, and that's what we are, unfortunately, and nothing's changed. Like, if a team hasn't got a win in X amount of games, they'll come to Leeds and win. If Diogo Jota hasn't scored in 32 games, he'll come to Leeds and get a brace. It happens all the time for Leeds, unfortunately. So yeah, you're hoping that we carry on that and are able to get a win against Tottenham and actually give us hope and the best chance. But I want to come on here and fill you guys with a bit of positivity. But how do you do that when the team aren't doing that on the pitch? You envisage, once again, maybe even Leeds taking the lead, dropping back 10 yards, Tottenham come on, score an equaliser, and then go on to win the game. Like, the blueprint's there to beat Leeds, and it always happens, or we're in the game for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then we just melt. We melt when there's a little bit of pressure. We melt when there's a couple of attacks. We definitely melt when there's a goal. And Leeds just drop. We start kicking the ball away. So, I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what to say. If they were showing differences, like you know, you always felt last season like Rafinha was going to come up with something, or Harrison might come up with something, because I think Harrison was better last season. You know, and we had some of our consistent players there. I mean, the squad's not really improved, has it? Let's be honest, since last season whatsoever. It's the same, or has arguably got worse when you actually look at the starting 11. You know, you had maybe a little bit of faith, and Leeds were pulling a couple of bits out the bag. You know, Wolves at home, Norwich at home. You know, all these little things where we're still picking up points. It just feels like now it's just they've all given up. That's how I feel. I feel they've given up. You know, when Sam is screaming at them at the last weekend to try and to get forward, like it's Sunday League, isn't it? It's Sunday League stuff. Try and get forward. Two separate things, which, I mean, are basics, aren't they? So, yeah, Richarlison, Kane, Son. I'm sorry, I just don't see how we keep them out. I don't see how we keep them out, and the blueprint for Leeds United is to just melt. So, yeah, I mean, I've said, it sounds quite contradictory that I've said 1-1, but, you know, maybe they pull it out the bag, but I don't think it'll be enough. I just don't think it'll be enough. Geno says Richarlison, hat-trick, Kane to stat pad. Tyler says, any chance Everton lose? Yeah, there is a chance. There is definitely a chance. And Bournemouth have won twice the last 2 times they've visited Goodison, so there's definitely a chance. I don't think they've got Calvert-Lewin for this one as well. But Leeds need to pick something up. You know, Everton have got a better goal difference than us. Pete says, I think we need to start copying teams that have successful models. For follow Leicester, they're going down. We're talking about Watford, they aren't even in the EPL now. Follow the Brighton model. Yeah, it takes hundreds of millions of pounds to set everything up, though, behind the scenes, Pete, that Brighton have. So, yeah, it's going to take a lot. It's not just what you see on the pitch and good recruitment, it's everything else. Everton always get out of it. Numerous relegation fights over the years. The results always seem to go their way. I think it's West Ham. I feel sorry for you fans. Leeds were the most exciting team to watch in the Prem under Bielsa. They were, mate, and just ran like an absolute you-know-what show. Richarlison is garbage, one of the biggest Prem flops of the season. I know, mate, but look who he's coming up against. Look who he's coming up against. A team that have conceded, 78 goals in the Premier League? 78 goals. Jesus Christ. It might even be more than that. 78 goals. 23 goals in a month. By Lord. Guys, we're going to leave it there, and we'll have some more stuff for you tomorrow. Really, really appreciate you tuning in. Let's hope Leeds can pull it out the bag. We get a bit of luck on the Everton side of things, and Bournemouth do something. And yeah, let's keep everything crossed for the weekend, everyone. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Of course, we'll have something on tomorrow, and we try to do stuff every single day on the Rumour Mill /Daily Leeds. Really appreciate your time, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.